What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the specs of the Canon 70D to the Canon 7D. Now the 70D has just recently been announced and it's boasting some really nice specs, including a highly improved autofocus system in video. And since its announcement, a lot of people have asked me to compare it to the 7D, which has been a very popular DSLR over the years. So what's so different between these two DSLRs? Well, do hit that thumbs up button and let's find out in this head-to-head spec comparison. So let's start off initially with the resolution and sensor size. The 7D has an 18 megapixel CMOS sensor, whereas the 70D has a 20.2 megapixel CMOS sensor. The sensor size on the 70D is also slightly larger and it's got the DIGIC 5 processor, whereas the 7D has the Dual DIGIC 4 processor. So you've got some slightly improved specs here on the 70D. Something to bear in mind is both of these are crop sensors, so you've not got full frame sensors on here. Looking at autofocus, both of these have a 19 cross type AF points, which is absolutely awesome that all points on here are cross type as well. And in terms of ISO, the 7D 100 to 6400 native and extendable to 12800. The 70D 100 to 12,800 native and extendable to 25,600. So you do have a higher range of ISO on the 70D here. Continuous shooting, the 7D 8 frames a second, the 70D 7 frames a second. So you've got a higher burst rate on the 7D here, but nevertheless both quite a decent speed on here. 7 and 8 frames a second is pretty high for a DSLR. Viewfinder coverage, the 7D 100% viewfinder coverage, which is absolutely great. The 70D 98% viewfinder coverage, so slightly shy of the 100%. You're not going to be getting exactly what you'll be seeing through the viewfinder on here. You're going to be getting a little bit more, so you'll have to bear that in mind in terms of composing your shots. Personally, I do prefer 100% viewfinder coverage, but you've got 98 on the 70D. Now in terms of storage, the 7D has a single CF card slot, whereas the 70D has a single SD card slot. So you've got SD versus CF. Now both will be performing great. It's just different options in here. SD cards generally tend to be more compact and cheaper. CF cards, you do get quite high speeds there as well, but nothing major here. Both of these DSLRs also have a pop-up flash as well as a max shutter speed of 1/8000th of a second. Now looking at these screens, the 7D has a 3-inch screen which is at 920.K resolution and it's a fixed screen. The 70D on the other hand is also a 3-inch screen and it's got high resolution of 1040K dot, but it's also a swivel out screen as well, which is absolutely great. So you're going to be able to get some really nice angles and things. And it's also a touch screen, so something new here, on the recent Canon DSLRs that we're seeing. So you've got some touchscreen functionality on there as well, which is absolutely great. Now here's something interesting, continuous focus in movie mode. The 7D does not have this, but the 70D, you've got the improved Dual Pixel CMOS AF technology. Now this is something new. This is the first Canon DSLR with this functionality. It's looking absolutely great. The examples look really good too. And it's supposed to offer fast and smooth autofocus tracking in movie mode, something that's been lacking quite a bit on DSLRs in general in terms of movie mode. So Canon are aiming to improve this and it's supposed to be a game changer. Really looking forward to testing this out myself. Now video resolution, both of these film at 1080p at 24, 25 and 30 frames a second, or 720p at 50 and 60 frames a second. In terms of maximum recording length, they both say 29 minutes and 59 seconds. However, on the 7D, you do have a 4GB cutoff limit, so it will stop after filming 4GB of data. And on 1080p, that's roughly about 12 minutes. On the 70D on the other hand, it will continue filming, so it'll have 4GB chunks, but it will automatically move on to those. So for instance, if you are filming 29 minutes and 59 seconds, you'll have 3 different files which you can put together in post later on. But the 70D does have this advantage of longer recording times. Now both of these also have a mic in, which is absolutely great for professional video. Neither have a headphone out jack. Headphone out jacks are quite useful when you're doing movies, so you can actually hear what's being recorded directly into the camera. None of these offer that, so that's a slight bit of a disappointment for me. I would have liked to see that in the 70D, but nevertheless both do have a mic in. Now in terms of wireless transfer, the 70D does have a wireless transfer built in to the camera, which is absolutely great. You're going to be able to transfer your files to a smartphone, a tablet or a laptop wirelessly. You're also going to have some wireless controls over the camera itself, and now this is all built in, so you don't have to get anything additional. Now with the 7D you have to buy the additional unit, which is the wireless transfer unit, the WFTE5. Now, this is pretty expensive. You're looking at roughly about 400 to 450 pounds in the UK, roughly about $700 in the US, so that's going to set you back quite a bit. But then again, the 7D is an older camera. The 70D has this built in, which is absolutely great. Now in terms of weight, the 7D 820 grams, the 70D 755 grams. So the 70D is a more compact device. It's also smaller in terms of height and width, although it's slightly thicker than the 7D. The 7D, the reason for the extra size and weight, it is a more robust build, and it's got better weather sealing as well. Now finally, looking at the price, the 7D currently you can pick it up for about £950 here in the UK, or roughly about $1,300 in the US. The 70D, if you want to go out and pre-order it right now, it's £1,080 here in the UK, or roughly about $1,200 in the US. So slight variation in pricing here in terms of the dollars and the pounds, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of the difference in pricing. And the 70D is due for release in September. Now to summarize, both are great DSLRs, and the 70D does seem to have lots more additional features, you know, especially when it comes to the autofocusing system, which is a key selling point here. But then again, the 7D is, you know, a few years old now, so there is rumors of a 7D Mark II, which you know, we can compare when that comes through, but it still is a great camera and still does hold up quite well in terms of today's standards. What are your views on these two DSLRs? What do you think of the 70D? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, as always, please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more videos coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time.